What's up guys, Black Rose Duelist here, and today I'm bringing you the most exciting list of the top 5 decks of the month I've yet to bring to the table. For the last 7 months now, we've had the same top 5, give or take one spot, in a row. Burning Abyss, Shaddoll, Necros. Well, now with the November ban list and the new set all coming down in this month, November, we have so many changes to the top 5 list. So I hope you're prepared because I am not even prepared really. I haven't talked about any of these decks except for one of them in the list before. So, I mean, I'm ready. Are you ready? To start off, I went to Zodiac Duelist, the very popular Yu-Gi-Oh fan page group in Facebook. If you're not in there, go check it out. But I went there to poll everyone, asking them what they think the top deck of the new format is, and I got an overwhelming response. So that's how I'm determining the top spots this month. To start off, we have Performa Pals / Performa Mages. They just got a huge amount of support in the new set, Dimensions of Chaos, with Plush, Fire, and the Mirror guy, and they're the new pendulums for the deck. And Performa Pals are also getting huge support, along with a new pendulum structure deck coming out in December. Performa Pals / Mages got 7.5% of the vote with 17 votes. Pretty impressive because a lot of the deck isn't out yet. The newly announced Monkey Board and Gi Turtle, with those cards out, they might be a contender for the #1 deck. But right now, there's lots and lots of plays they can do with Flavoring Eyes, and there's all pendulum capabilities, so they're very big, spammy, fast deck that I would very much look out for in this format. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this time around I'm showing pictures instead of a boring slideshow, so I hope you enjoy that better. Anyways, on to number 4. Number 4, we have the recently released Yangzis. They were released alongside Satellars and Shaddolls, but kind of got eclipsed by them. But now that they're basically dead now, this deck really has a chance to shine. The capabilities of when they die, they come back stronger, basically give it like a pendulum edge. The same idea of a pendulum, but even better because they have their own pendulums as well. The Yangzis just are incredibly, they can get really fast and dirty. They got 24 votes, and that is roughly 10.6% of the total votes. So that's pretty impressive considering they were, maybe you'd see a couple of them topping in a huge event, tops. So definitely impressive. I'd wait and see about this deck. With a couple more support cards, I could see it being definitely top 2, top 3. It just really has lots of potential, just needs the players to back it up. At number 3, we have a deck that I honestly did not expect, and I honestly really have barely touched upon. I made a few duel videos / deck profiles on this deck, and I've tested on it a lot, but besides that, I've barely seen it, so I'm really surprised a lot of people voted for this deck. But it very well is a strong competitor. The playstyle of it is unparalleled to any other deck. It got a whopping 39 votes, which was 17% of the whole vote for the best deck of November 2015. So I'm really surprised a lot of people are backing up the deck now. It's very dependent on your opponent, which a lot of these decks are. Yangzi, fully developed about your opponent and how he attacked your monsters. Yangzis, and Psy-frames, your opponent has to do stuff for you to do your stuff. So, and maybe that's kind of interesting. You have to rely on your opponent for some of these decks. But the deck really has a weird but really entertaining mix to it, where you have to just negate your opponent's stuff to get your stuff going. So, really weird. I'd really practice this match if I were you guys. It's a very unexpected deck and really hard to play against. So, yeah, number 3. Before getting into number 2 and number 1, I just like to bring up that number 2 controls 22% of the poll, and number 1 controls 42% of the poll. So if that gives any. So basically, judging by the poll, the number 1 and number 2 deck are going to apparently dominate the format. So what do you think those top 2 decks will be? Well, let me start with number 2. So the number 2 deck, I'm very excited to say, is Specters. Specters are the new deck that I'm very, very excited to start playing in a few days once the sneak peek prices go from 100 to 0. But anyways, Specters are a new deck. They're all little cute animals with wind powers that are pendulums. So they took 53 votes, which was about 22% of the vote, which is very shocking because I didn't think this deck would have really gotten picked up until the new pendulum support comes out, along with the new other new Specter support that's coming out in the future. The deck is very defensive. All the monsters are kind of like the wind-ups, where they're all like 1500 and under, with biggish boss monsters you can go into with the Xyz summoning, along with big defenses. Every monster searches a defense, so the deck is very fun and powerful, so I really recommend looking into the deck. Before we get into the number one deck, I like to show you guys some decks that just missed the cut. All these decks got about 3% or below, so yeah, they just almost made it. Burning Abyss, couple votes. Satellars, Yugioh, Necros, Shaddolls, mostly all dead, but they did get some votes. So for the number one deck, we have, with 96 votes, almost half of the votes in total, we have Cosmo. Cosmo is a deck that, unlike any other, has transformed from decent to amazing with just a few key support cards. It almost kind of reminds me of Spellbooks when they got the Spellbook of Judgment. Getting Dark Destroyer and Strawman made the deck go from an alright deck to a great deck. And also with every other deck that competed against it going down with the ban list, and it sliding through the ban list, the deck rose to probably the number one deck, definitely the number one deck in my opinion, and obviously everyone else's opinion, the number one deck of the month, and probably for the rest of the format. I don't see it getting hit for a while, probably number one deck for the next few months, or next year almost. It's going to be like the new Necros in my opinion. It's going to be number one for a while, I can tell you. The only deck that I can see stopping it in the near future is pendulum-based magicians. So it might be more like the Burning Abyss, where it stayed around in the top 3 best decks for about a year. So yeah, Cosmos basically unbeatable at this point because their big beaters can't be targeted. They destroy stuff. They gain life points. They're just very powerful. Right now, at this point, they are the number one. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. It takes a while to make up these lists, especially pulling everyone and making those pie charts. So if you would please show your appreciation and like this video, comment what you think the number one deck is, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Black Rose Duelist, and have a fantastic month of November 2015. See ya next month. Bye.